Hello everyone and welcome to round 6 of VDRL. Back again with another racing weekend here on February 16. A very good track today, Mexico City, where we will be racing today 36 laps around this high altitude racetrack with a lot of corners and a lot of straights where there's a lot of overtaking opportunities for the drivers. Today we have 9 drivers. Unfortunately only 9 drivers because 8 declined. And yeah, so only 9 drivers today, but I'm sure it will be a thriller for everybody. And so yeah, we have, as I said before, Mexico City today, round 6. After a sprint weekend in Austria, we have a very great track again for racing. Last week's result is here. The sprint race was won by Formula Five. Beautiful racing with Quillis and also Quillis. Beautiful racing with Quillis for the race victory, but Formula 5 came out on top. It was a very good race, but the main race was the best probably of all season, with Alex Edge, the rookie, winning it with a hard fight with Meshu, with like 10 laps of racing. Great racing. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. If you want to watch it, go onto the channel, you can watch it back. The main and the qualifying and also the sprint race. These are the standings after the Austrian GP. Ferrari still on top with 9 points ahead of Racing Bulls. Of course, I think Thanos was in the last race, but maybe not. But with all of the not participating, unfortunately, Racing Bulls could not get that much ahead. But with a beautiful result from Meshu, McLaren actually went into P3, but came up on the points against Racing Bulls and can have the opportunity to overtake Racing Bulls this race with only Quillis joining. I think, let me check. Yes, only Quillis joining today. He has a chance at victory here, but of course McLaren has 2 drivers in the lobby and in the race, so it's gonna be hard for Quillis to try to get Racing Bulls back and to not lose any points to the McLarens. So yeah, of course the driver standings, Formula 5 coming up at 2 places from the last race, and the sprint also winning the sprint and coming at the P5, I think, at the end for the main race. So now he's in 2nd place, only 1 point up by Thanos, but he can be a contender for this championship. Of course, we have the driver lineup here. Still the same. Ghost not joining, unfortunately, but Justin Maguire is. Also the 2 Ferraris with Mr. Quote and D-Mag is joining too, and the 2 Aston Martins with Harry and Crash Dash, both of them join, which is great. Good thing for them because of the standings. Right now I can see one of the Williams with Formula 5 in the 2nd place in the World Championship if joining, and also I can see in the lobby the 2 McLarens with Meshu and John fighting for that constructor championship and trying to get that 1st place in the constructors. Still joining every single race as hard and fighting as hard as they can to get some good points in every race. I think right now that's all, but we are, I think, waiting for another person for now. There's a new segment of today's racing. We will do pre-round or pre-qualifying interviews with two gentlemen here, Mr. Quota and John. I will 1 second and I will tell them to come into the commentator box. So this is a new segment, of course, a new graphic too. So yeah, we will just hear some two of the drivers' opinions on the pre-race. We now have Mr. Quota and John in the commentators too. Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, starting with Mr. Quota, what are your predictions and thoughts before the race? How was your practice going before the qualifying and before this race weekend?
Yeah, I practiced a bit right now, so I think I'm gonna be like top 2, top 3 pace. Me and Quillis is like you said, and Formula Size pace is really similar, probably like within 2 tenths. So I think that's gonna be close. But I think I do have the edge in qualifying most of the time. But we'll see what happens in the race.
Yeah, you definitely have a really great pace at qualifying, and yeah, as you said, Quillis and Formula 5, you have very similar paces, so it will be interesting to see you guys fight for that possibly winning position, and also not possibly, but more very pretty much the racing victory you'll be fighting for. And so yeah, good luck for you. And now I move on to John. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts on this track? As I said with Kota, what were the first impressions of the track when you were practicing, or did you practice for the race? And
I didn't know. I did not practice. But if we look at the people that are competing today, we have Thanos who's not here, so we're fighting for fourth and fifth, hopefully for the McLaren Gucci gang. So hopefully we can try and sneak our way onto the podium if somebody in front of us steps up. But I've stolen one of the setups of my competitors, so hopefully we can have a good race.
yeah, you'd feel the McLarens will definitely fight for at least P4, P5, I think, as I predicted in the pre-race
Yeah, I did see that.
TikTok.
I
You
did see
will
that.
the McLarens needs to have a great pace, and they do. They have the pace to make something great, as Meshu did in piece 2 of the Austrian race. Great results, of course, and you guys now only 3 points behind Visa Ketchup RB, and I think like I don't know, maybe
Well, we
11
have
points behind Ferrari, so definitely a good World Champion constructors leading, or at least standings. So
absolutely.
yeah,
I think we have a chance. We have the advantage of Thanos not being here. So, I mean, just us finishing the race would probably put us ahead of the RBs. But it's just trying to take points off DMAG and Kota.
yes, definitely that will be the McLaren's main objective, and also DMAC and Quota needs to have a very great pace, which Quota definitely has. DMAC needs to work on some of his pace, as we saw on before the previous
Yeah.
races, but yeah, definitely we have a great race today and some interesting action. Okay, so
Yeah,
thank you guys.
I'm excited.
Great, very, very. So I mean, I don't know how to say. it. Good job on the interviews, and yeah. So
Hopefully we can put on a
best
show
of
for
luck
you.
to you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Hopefully we can make it exciting for you.
Okay, now only 1 minute left to start. We have another new segment, which is fun facts about VD Racing League. So Quota made these graphics, which is fun facts about the previous season mostly, and pre-season testing. As you can see on the screen now, myself took pole position by some miracle in the first the pre-season testing of VDRL, which was a miracle, of course. But yeah, so this is one of the fun facts of today, as this is another one. You can just read it. Mr. Kota got more wins in season 1 of VDRL than every single team combined. This will be the last fun fact of today's, because we are starting in 10 minutes. Hope you can see the... Yes, you can. Nice. We're starting off qualifying. Good. A short qualifying as always, and also 36 laps. Long track, long race from this track. 36 laps, lot of opportunities to overtake and make up some positions, and also I think 3 DRS zones, or not. I think it is 3 DRS zones on the track. Yeah, a lot of overtaking opportunity, but a lot of places to mess up too, from if you get under pressure from the other drivers. But it's definitely going to be an exciting race today. Now we can see almost of every team. 2 people are here. The 2 Aston Martins, the 2 McLarens, the 2 Ferraris, and unfortunately Formula Saif and Quillis are alone, but they are very fast drivers, as I said in the pre-interviews. Great racing coming from them, as Quillis as Mr. Formula Saif is off to do his lap. As I got the info that Justin Maguire is going to join mid-quali, but that's going to be not a problem. Formula Saif is now on his outlap. Maybe I do the... Also the tires. Not telemetry. Lap data. Maybe a track map too. Yeah, so now we can see John, Meshu, Harry, D-Mac is out on their lap, and also everybody's coming out except Quillis. But this is the first person who come out. Formula Saif about to start his lap, or at least a half sector remaining from starting his lap. Let's see what he can do in this long but at least short lap, but a very tricky sections, and also lovable corners here and sectors. Great first corner and second corner. We're not locking up at all. This guy is just absolutely incredible. Not locking up his tires at all, and just taking every apex he can, using the curbs and the track as much as he can. Let's see, coming now into the sector 2. This is a very fast corners and fast sector. The ERS Open now goes for the last sector of the track. Probably the best or the easiest way to mess up here, but he is not messing up. He's taking all of the curve, hitting all of the apexes. A little bit of slide there, but what's his time gonna be? It's going to be a 1:14.074. A great lap from him. Let's see what HRT Mr. Kota and DMAC can do. The two main contenders for pole position, for three main contenders, Quillis, Kota and Formula Saif. Let's see Quillis now on his outlap as John does a 1:14.4, and Harry, what can he, at least crash dash has invalidated his lap, probably. Kota goes for this fast track section of the track, but now we will see DMAG, his teammate, ahead of him a little bit. Let's see what his time on the mediums though will be. How much sliding through the last corner, very major mistake, but it's as Kota has went into the wall. Unfortunately we couldn't see it, but he went into the wall at the last corner. As you could see, DMAG was slipping there too, but he saved it, but Kota couldn't save it and went into the wall. Now he needs to change his front fairing, and also his tires are now gone. Let's see what Quillis can do on the soft tires. Little bit of locking up at the last sector, but the purple sector 2 is good for him. Slipping through a little bit, but not slipping into the last corner. He's going to do a 1:14.7, which is only good for P3 right now. John overtaking him by 3/10, but he will definitely improve on that. Purple sector 2, a very great result from him, but he couldn't just finish that purple sector 2 for purple sector 3. As now John goes for his second lap of this qualifying on 2 laps old. On 2 laps of soft tires. Everybody's going out or going into the pits. Let's see what can John do. Formula Saif behind him. John is 4.5 off by Formula Saif. Can he improve that much into this lap with 2 laps old soft tires? As he's not going for his lap now, we can see he's not going for his lap. He probably is on the out or is in lap. But Formula Saif is going to start his lap. Only 2 more corners from his lap start, as Kota is still in the pits waiting for that perfect time. As now he comes out of the pits with DMAG. They're gonna wait for Formula Saif to start his lap, and now tries to fly down the whole track, maybe improve his time by about 3/10, or even just anything is a good improvement for him, because he's on provisional pole position. There's still 10 minutes of qualifying remaining. Great second sector. I didn't see the improvement, unfortunately, but we will see what can he do in this fast section. Can he take away the purple sector 2 from Quillis, or is he not going to improve by that much? only 2,000 of a second down. Not invalidating. A great corner taking, using all of the track, but also not invalidating at all. Coming now into the last corner. Let's see what his time is be. He only improved by 22 thousandths of a second, but it's still an improvement, so it's good for him. As now DMAC and Kota is on their out laps, and Kota going to start his lap, his first lap of the qualifying. Let's see what can he do in this track. The time to beat is 1:14.05, which is a great lap time from Formula 5. But can Kota beat that easily, or is it going to be a little bit tougher job for him? Coming into second sector now, first sector of 28.0. A bit of locking up from Quota, but that's normal for him and normal for the game. As now we go on to this fast section again. Let's see, can he do a purple sector 2 time? Take it away from Quillis. No, he cannot. It's not going to be a purple sector. But is it going to be a good lap? Coming down to the last corner of this track. What his time gonna be? It's going to be a 1:14.3, just beating John by 1/10. Great track from great time from him, but he's not going to be happy with those results. He wants that pole position as much time as he can. He's leading the standings or the championship. He wants to get that P1 as much as possible and try to get that race victory at the end, to gain as much points as possible. Now only 8 minutes left of qualifying session, as Formula Saif is on his third soft out lap. Now he's still trying to find that improvement as he cuts through the corners, overtaking, I think, Sir Leclerc. No, overtaking John, as Sir Leclerc is on his lap now. Let's see what he can do. Can he overtake Quillis? Or is he not going to be able to overtake, or at least improve his lap by 3/10? Going for the last corner of this track. It's going to be a 1:14.3, going back to third place by only 5 thousandths off from Mr. Quota. Great lap from Meshu, absolutely beautiful. Improving by at least 5/10. And Quillis now needs to improve his lap. It's not a typical time from him, and also not being into the front of the pack. Can he improve now? I guess he's going for another tire warming up lap. So now Formula Saif is on his lap. Still trying to find that improvement. 22 thousandths or 45 thousandths off in the first sector. Still a lot of time to gain, as Justin Maguire or Yestin Boy has joined. As now Quillis has went back into the pits. Can Formula Saif get that purple sector too? Let's see. No, he cannot. He's not improving his time. He's down by 45 thousandths, and he invalidates his lap. That's not good for him. He just needs to hope that Quota won't find the 3/10 and against in the qualifying, and or maybe he will try and do another lap on some fresh softs. Now John is going for his lap now. I think he's going for his lap. Yes, definitely 2 warm-up laps from John. A typical thing from John we can see in VDRL. He doesn't usually go on the first try, but he does go on the second try and can make some beautiful lap times. A little bit of locking up, but it's not going to matter for him. He keeps on carrying the car across and invalidates his lap. That's not going to be a great, and he's a little bit probably frustrated. Maybe it was his last set of tires, maybe it wasn't, we don't know yet. Now everybody's in the pits. Formula Scythe coming out, as I said that. And also Quillis, or Yestin Boy, he's coming out of the pits, trying to get an improvement, or at least trying to get P8 against from Crash Dash. Now everybody's going out on the pit. That's a little bit frustrating probably for Formula Scythe. I think no damage there, but definitely maybe his concentration is not at the best after that little bit of an incident, but it's not gonna matter. He's on his outlap now, so everybody's out from the pit. Only Quillis, John and Meshu is not on the pit, not out on their outlap. If the person's watching, if the person who's watching Sir Leclerc is Meshu, as now Formula Scythe doing another lap around Mexico City. Sorry, I need to do just one thing. Formula Scythe doing another lap off the track, still trying to gain some improvements for him. 64 thousandths off his best lap yet. As he invalidates, oh no, he doesn't invalidate yet, but it is going to be a good, or at least he's trying to get the improvement still. But can he, after that little bit of mess up, I think, from after the first sector? Yes, that was definitely a mess up. Now he's 41,000 up on his pace, or off from his pace. It's Crash Dash, probably some network issues, has left the session. As Formula Scythe goes for another improvement, only by 25 thousandths, but that's still a good thing. He does have a good, he's going to have a good lap as quota now into the third sector. He's not going for a free lap. This is his second warm-up lap, I think. As now the 2 McLarens and Willis is on their outlet too. As D-Max following him right behind, following Quota right behind. He's going to get that slipstream from him. Great teamwork is coming out, going in action right here, as you can see. But Quota is going to try and get that pole position. He needs to improve by 3/10 from his lap, and that would be enough for him to get provisional pole position, or at least pole position. He's up by 1/10 on his first sector. He just needs to keep that momentum going and just improve even more on this section of the track, this fast section. He will try not to get impeded by Harry, which he probably won because they are pretty far away, and Harry will get out of the way. Very, very good sportsmanship from Harry. Is now 3/10 of his personal best, and he doesn't invalidate but misses the apex by a little bit. It coming out onto this penultimate corner, now on his final corner. What's his time gonna be? It's going to be a 1:14.158. A little bit of a mistake cost him that pole position, as Sir Leclerc is on his lap now, on his last lap, still trying maybe to get that 2/10, but he's not going to get it. As John in front of him. Let's see what his time's gonna be coming up to the final corner now. What is his time gonna be? It's going to be a 1:14.46. Not going to be an improvement. Neither did Sir Leclerc improve. But Willis did improve and comes up to P3 in the last final moments of the qualifying. Beautiful stuff from Willis. Now this is what we expect from him going into the front row, or the second row fourth position. Formula 5 takes the pole position by 1.33 or 0.1 tenths. Great lap from him in his first try to Mr. Quota second, and Quillis closing out the top three. Very, very close times in the first 5, but D-Mac just couldn't get the top 5 which he needs because of the World Constructor Championship, or the Constructor Championship. He needs to get the times up and get his improvement up. Improvement. But definitely a great qualifying from these gentlemen here. As we are now waiting for the race start. Let's see who's going to come out on top up after the first corner. It's going to be a formation lap, I think. We will see. As now we're on formation lap. As I said, it is formation lap. These drivers trying to warm the tires up as much as possible to get the perfect race shot. As Formula 5 Quillis and Quota top 3 here. The people who will need to get an eye on because of their pace. The two McLaren boys are off the grid a little bit, but it's probably a strategy from them. As we can see, everybody's on the medium tires. I think Sir Leclerc does, John, D-Mag, Harry, Crash Dash and Yestin Boy is on the medium tires. Possible races which here could be a one stop, which is going to be probably a one stop, a 12th stop, as Bota is on the hard tires actually, so he will try to do the inverted tires on the in this race. Try to do that inverted strategy the hard two mediums strategy, as now drivers are on the grid trying to get the perfect park in. The purple parking is crucial for these guys to get as much grip as possible. We can see the two main contenders for the championship lining up beside each other. Formula 5 is going to get the softer tires, but it is Kota is still a fast driver with without any good tires. Now, as now 3, 4, 5, and the lights are out. A quick start from the stewards there. Formula 5 gets a great launch, but Willis is already inside of Quota, trying to go for that overtake. As John drops, comes back up to 4th place, as there's a big crash with D-Mac and Sir Leclerc. As Quota goes back to 5th place. What happened there? Big crash from D-Mac, taking out some people as Meshu, but John is up to 2nd place, and Quillis takes back his first still holds. Quillis still holds his 1st place. Formula 5 is going away and now already has a 1 second lead from all the other people. The two Ferraris. Mr. Kota had the worst possible come out of this racetrack. He goes back down to 5th or 6th place, went back down to 6th place, but got an overtake on D-Mac, on his teammate, goes back up to 5th place, with D-Mac causing a little bit of a crash, but it is a good race start for John and Crash Dash, who comes out, goes up to 4th place. As you can see, Quillis taking a position, John taking 2 positions, and Crash Dash taking 4 positions up now, but Quota losing out already on 3 positions in the race start. Now he's looking for the overtake on Crash Dash. Again, the possible race strategies are there. Formula 5 now taking a 3-second lead from the other drivers, and also John is still behind Quillis tightly. Not that tight anymore, but is still behind Quillis, and gonna get the DRS. They need to work together to at least try to get some time back from Formula 5, which is crucial at this point. It's a 36 lap race, which is a lot, and everything can happen in those laps, but it is crucial not to get too far away from the 1st place if they want to get the race victory. As now Quota has overtook Crash Dash, and also D-Mag overtook Crash Dash in that DRS zone, a very powerful DRS zone. 2 places can be gained and can be lost against people. As Crash Dash gets a 3-second time penalty, it's not going to be good for him, as unfortunately Sir Leclerc has went back down to P7, but gets an overtake on Harry and goes up to P7 now. This D-Mac has gained the position up to P5. Kota is trying to catch back up to John and Quillis, but it's not going to be easy for him because of his tires. He's on the hard tires, which is not much slower, but is slower than the mediums. As now John trying to go for that overtake. DRS open. Is he going to try to overtake? Yes, he will. He's go for the inside. Can he convert it? Yes. Yes, he can. Quillis tries to go for the switchback, but he cannot. Little bit of contact between those two. But John still has the DRS and can get away from Quillis. Great move by John. There's now Quota and D-Mag not overtaking each other because they know they need to gain some time to Quillis and John, who are still fighting very closely with each other, but they have to keep in mind that Formula 5 is gaining time on them. Now 4.4 seconds up from them. It is still a great fight for P2. So Leclerc goes up to 6th place now, defending the inside line against Crash Dash, who has a 3-second time penalty, so he needs to be careful with track limits. Okay. As he does, as he gets another 3-second time penalty and goes for a cut on the track. I don't think that's legal. As now we can see Quota catching up a little bit to Quillis and John. As Quillis goes for an overtake around the outside, John gets a late lunge. And Quillis will try to go for the switchback, but John defended the line. Great defending from John, and Quillis is hard fighting. John is, but they're also losing a lot of time to Formula 5. Now 5.3 tenths, or 5 seconds from Formula 5. As Quillis overtakes John for 2nd place. This is going to go for a lot of laps here, as Quota has gained about 8 tenths in just 1 lap from these two fighting. And also his Quota and D-Mag is 3 tenths, 3 seconds off from each other. As now John is going to go for that late lunge into the inside. A great overtake from him. He is now will try to go and try to gain as much time as possible with these DRS. It's a great battle with him. As Quota now just creeping behind them one by one, gaining a lot of time. I think at least 8 tenths a lap. But his main objective is to win the race after that chaotic race start. As now Sir Leclerc is back to P7. Probably a mistake could have happened, as Crash Dash gets another 3-second time penalty. As Quillis has overtook John back. Great fight for P2. John makes a little bit of mistake, and now he's 6 tenths off from Quillis, but it's a long straight with a good DRS overtaking opportunity, but he looks like he's not going to go for that overtake. Little bit of contact between those two. Ooh, but John is going to get the DRS again in this straight too, and then hard braking zone after that. John is not going to try to overtake. He knows he will have the chance. He will have the chance another lap too. He just needs to keep in 1 second. As D-Mag gets a 3-second time penalty for leaving the track. That's a lot of time penalties we don't want to see from these drivers. We know that they can keep it on the track, but as we could see from Australia, they are not really good at they're pushing the limit so hard that they just off the track. a lot of times. But now John has another opportunity to overtake Quillis back with this DRS right here, with a heartbreaking zone at the end. He's not going to try to go for that overtake though. Oh, which is very mindful of him, and also he knows that he has an opportunity as he slides a little bit, but it's not going to affect him much. He still has the DRS. He's going to go for the inside lunge. A beautiful tries as Quillis gets turned around by John. That's a penalty waiting to happen for John. What a late lunge from John, but a big contact between those two. Not big contact, but a crucial contact between those two. Quillis is not going to be happy about that. John could get a penalty after the race. That was an unfair overtake, and Quillis just got spun out by John. As now quota is up from John, as Thanos said in the chat, the mediums are overheating a little bit, and now quota has the advantage of grip and also the tires, and he has the DRS advantage too. He overtakes John like he was not even pushing the gas pedal. And now Quota's main objective again is to try to gain back 8 seconds of time against Formula Scythe, who's comfortably in the lead right now. Quillis is 3 seconds behind John after the spun around and contact between those two. Now John is losing a little bit of time against Quota, a very fast driver Quota is, and John knows that he needs to get into the 1 second zone, but now he's out of the 1 second zone, and he also gets a warning from that probably. It's not looking good for John. He's not going to have an DRS now, and Quillis is also catching up to him as John is now goes for the pit to change his tires to the hard tires. Let's see, is this time gonna be? Yes, it is. It's another medium lap, medium tire choice. It's going to be a 2-stop for John, going for that risky move. A 2-stop can be a good choice, but it can be a risky choice too. He's looking for the safety car. He's looking for the safety car to happen and maybe get another pit stop for free to gain back the time, at least the tire advantage, and gain back a pit stop from that. Maybe it wasn't his choice, maybe the tires or the pit crew didn't got a good reading, or at least a good strategy, and they changed it to the mediums by mistake, or it could have been a normal and his choice that it's going to be a medium, as those Meshu goes for the overtake on the inside. His end plate is missing though. Is that going to affect his performance? As we can see, not really. He is overtaking left and right and fighting with Crash Dash for the sixth place, which he lost 2 positions unfortunately in the start. He's fighting with Crash Dash a lot here and just trying to overtake and get the 6th place and just go away as much as possible. As now Harry has caught up to D-Mag as the contact between those two, and D-Mag saves it from spinning. as they're still fighting, and Crash Dash. A little bit of contact between these two drivers. First, Crash Dash, Harry now only 4 tenths off from D-Mag. Formula 7 goes for the box in this lap. Quota overtakes him. Great pit stop from the Williams. Squillis goes for the box too. Now, Quota's main objective is to get as far away as possible from Formula 5 and Quillis, and try to get that undercut or overcut against Formula 5. It will be hard, a very hard task for Quota. His tires will give up a little bit, and the tire wear will be much more into the last laps of his stint, but he can pull it off. But it doesn't look like he's going to. Formula 5 is gaining on him by about 2 tenths a sector. As we could see, it was 12.3 or 8 in the after he came out of the pit, but now it's only 12.4 and 12.3 against HRT Mr. Quota, who is now losing a little bit of time from his tires, as does Quillis is catching up too. Now is trying to get that overtake done on Sir Leclerc, who goes into the pits, knows he cannot fight Quillis really that much. He goes back into the pits, or goes into the pits. It's what tires will he choose? He will choose the hard tires, as there's a front wing change too for Meshu, who's going to have to fight back a lot from here, as D-Mag overtakes Harry back. Now Sir Leclerc is into back or at 9th place. It's going to be a hard fight for him to gain back those positions he lost in the pit. As now John is just creeping up behind Harry and D-Mag, gaining time every single lap, and just looking for that opportunity where they both mess up and maybe just fight too hard. Crash Dash overtakes Yestin Boy back. Now Formula 5 under 10 seconds against Quota. Quota strategy didn't work out that much for him, or is it going to work out, because he will go onto the the medium tires, and he will be much faster than this against Formula 5 and also Quillis and John, who's now 16 or 15 seconds off from Quota. But Formula 5 is gaining on Quota lap by lap, about a second, close to a second a lap, as something happened with Quota, probably almost a spin, but he saved it very much, as Formula 5 now under 5 seconds, and Quota making mistakes that he shouldn't, and it's not necessary for him to make, as now Formula 5 is just gaining a lot of time by that. Quota could be in the danger of John too, who is now 12 seconds off him, which is not enough for a pit stop. If he goes out, he will get overtaken by John, but he's going to have the tire advantage, and also the fresher, softer tires. And John also needs to go for another pit stop, because he didn't change his tire compound to a hard tire or a soft tire but he's probably going to go for the soft tire, trying to get away as much as possible from Harry and also Quillis and everyone in the field. Going to go for that soft tires probably at the end, as now Quota is losing a lot of time against Formula Scythe, who's just behind him and trying to go and overtake him on the track, not off the track, as you say, not when Gota goes out in the pits, which he's not going to do because he knows he has a stint to do, and even if he's slower than before, he needs to do more laps than this to go onto the mediums and go to the straight to the end of the race. As now Quillis overtook Harry, who goes into the pits after 14 laps on these mediums. A great stint from him to 5th place and probably gets a free pit stop. Now, Sir Leclerc and D-Mag has probably maybe collided, but maybe not. Not sure, I didn't see it happening. As Crash Test comes out to the pit stop, D-Mag will overtake him, but Harry will have the faster, fresher tires and could overtake D-Mag pretty easily here. As now the two rivals of this race, Quillis is gaining up to John one by one, and now Formula Scythe is going to overtake Quota. He lets him by. He knows that he doesn't have a chance of fighting him, and he knows that he would get pretty beaten or pretty easily beaten, and doesn't want to waste any time and try to get away as far as possible from John and Quillis. But John gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. What a mistake has he done. Now it's pretty hard to get the 2nd place, because as we know, Quota doesn't really get penalties for track limits. Sir Leclerc gets another 3-second time penalty, but as I said before, Quota doesn't really get penalties for track limits from looking back to Australia. He didn't get any 3-second time penalties or any penalties in the race. He knows how to keep it on track and still be fast and still push to the limits of a track. Now he's not going to have DRS though against Formula Scythe, which he wanted to work with, but Formula Scythe will deny that pretty easily. Let's see, when is Quota going to go out in the pit? It's probably around lap 20 he will go out maybe. But as now John is gaining on him, but he does have a 3-second time penalty. But is the 3-second time penalty going to be enough for Quota to get 2nd place? Because about 20 seconds, a pit stop takes about 20 seconds. So is it going to be enough for Quota to gain up to John about 3 seconds and get back to position after the race? Crash Test gets another 3-second time penalty. Let me just see what kind of penalties does everybody have. Crash Test has a 27-second time penalty. That is nearly into the disqualification zone. But John only has 3 seconds. Quillis 3 seconds only, and D-Mag is 3 seconds only too. Meshu is the 3rd highest with 6 seconds, and Yestin Boy with 9. But Quillis makes a major mistake of getting another 3-second time penalty. That's not good news for him. Now he's at 6 seconds against 6 seconds. Has a 6 second time penalty. Sorry for that major mistake. 6 second time penalty, which is against John. It's a lot of a problem, because now the penalties don't cancel out each other. It is like Willis has a 3 second time penalty and John doesn't have any penalties. He's also Dima gets a 6 second time penalty. John is now only mission is to try to keep it on the track and also just get in the zone and not let Willis pass. Or if he does, he needs to get in 3 seconds behind him, and he needs to stay in the 3 second zone in behind him. But just keep in mind, he does have to go out for another pit stop. Which is probably going to be on the soft tires, but is that going to be good for him? Can he gain back about like 19 seconds on the soft tires, or 17 seconds on the soft tires? It's gonna be pretty hard for him, as he's now we go on to lap 20 of the race. When is he going to try and go out for the soft tires, or at least the second pit stop he needs to do, as still fighting Meshu still fighting with Harry, but Meshu probably knows that Harry has a 9 second time penalty, so it's not really a bad thing if he goes behind him. He just needs to keep it behind him 3 seconds, and that will be good. But and that will be P6 for him. But he's looking for every opportunity he can, as John now goes for the overtaking Willis, but Willis overtakes him back with the DRS. A great overtake, and it just shows how powerful the DRS in this game is. As now Sir Leclerc overtakes D-Mac, beautiful overtake into the penultimate corner, and also is he going to have DRS? No, he won't, but D-Mac will, and it's gonna be another chance for D-Mac to overtake. He goes into the grass a little bit, but it's going to be an easy overtake for him. Now Meshu tries to go for the switchback. Heck, no, but he cannot go for the switchback back, as Kota is now 9 seconds off of John, and about 11 seconds off Willis, who has a 6 second time penalty, keep in mind. But Quota has a lot of work to do to gain back about 6 seconds to John, and also more than 6 seconds, at least right now not more than 6 seconds, but a lot of time to Quota, as he didn't even need to do that, because John goes for his mandatory compound change, and goes onto the hard tires. Little bit of strategy hookup from John, but Quota still has some work to do. He needs to gain about 5 seconds to Willis in just 12 laps, which is possible, but it's going to be hard. Willis is a very, very fast driver who has a great pace, but also has some probability that he can mess up at times. But now Quota is 14 seconds as the safety car out on the track. This will give Quota a great chance to overtake Quillis, as Quillis has a drive-through penalty. What a major mistake from him, and also speeding in the pit lane. A absolute miracle for Quota and an absolute disappointment for Quillis. He still has a drive-through penalty. He has a 10-second time penalty. It's a lot against Quillis. And it's not going to be good for him. He will lose out on a lot of position. He cannot complete his drive-through on the safety car, of course, but it's going to be a lot of position lose on everyone. John will overtake him, Harry will overtake him, probably will go back into the field, go into the back of the field, Quillis will, and it's just a disappointing day for him, and an unfortunate day for him. He has a lot of penalties to work with, and he cannot complete them under the safety car, really. I don't think you can do a drive-through in the safety car, but if you can, he will still have a 10-second time penalty, which definitely cannot serve in the pit lane. As now everyone is lined up behind each other. Meshu still catching up to the safety car, and also D-Mac, who went out in the pits for as Formula 5 goes into the pit for a set of hard tires. What had happened there with Formula 5? He will have the opportunity to overtake Quota, but it's going to be risky from him. It's going to be a fresher tires, but not softer. It's going to be about 10 lap shootout out in these guys, as Harry goes for the... oh no, he doesn't. As now John, and also John has the great opportunity to get that P2 to his name, starting from P4 or P5. He can get a good amount of points at the end, but Formula 5 is behind him closely, and he doesn't have any penalties whatsoever. And also Quillis does need to go into the pit lane once more for his drive-through, so he's not going to be a problem for Formula 5 or John. And John will try to overtake Quota probably. We know from previous races that John is an aggressive driver, and also he will try to do everything to get as much points as possible. The safety car is in this lap. Let's see the restart on the Mexican GP. A 12 lap shootout, or a 12 lap shootout with these drivers. As Quota now restarts the race, Quillis gets a good reaction time, but John has a better reaction time. He will try to overtake on the inside of Quillis. Can he do it? Yes, he can. But Quillis tries to go for the switchback. Again, little bit of contact. A really beautiful switchback from Quillis, who is fighting to keep himself alive in this race. But John goes for the inside again, which will turn onto the outside as Meshu overtakes Formula 5 too. John gets 3-second time penalty too. Now 6-second time penalty. Meshu overtaking Formula 5 trying to go for the outside. Formula 5 gets a 3-second time penalty. Kota now has the opportunity to win by a lot here. Formula 5 making the mistake on probably getting overtaken by Sir Leclerc and gets pushed out of because of Sir Leclerc and getting the 3-second time penalty. So is that going to be removed after the race? Now DRS enabled and Quillis is going for Quota, trying to overtake him. Can he overtake at the end? No, DRS is not open for him, but in this straight he will open his DRS, or maybe he's not going to. He has a strategy to get away from John as much as possible, for when after he goes onto the drive-through, maybe he can get out on P2, but it's really a very hard task because he has a 10-second time penalty. Keep in mind that it's going to be a very hard task for him to do. Crash Dash has left the session, which is understandable because he DNF'd. But when is Quillis going to go for his drive-through? Let's see. He needs to go. Now he goes for the drive-through. John overtakes him with his 6-second time penalty. And Formula 5 is off by John about 3 seconds. No, he's not off by John by 3 seconds now. But if Meshu will fight him, he will. Meshu knows that he needs to try to block, or at least try to gain some time against Formula 5 and block Formula 5 from getting into the 3-second gap of John. And also D-Mag is helping that cause because he's fighting Formula 5 every chance he gets. As now Sir Leclerc and John in the 2 and 3 position. And Formula 5, Meshu needs to keep in mind that he needs to gain about 6 seconds against Formula 5, who's a very fast driver, and he will not back out at all against these gentlemen here. So right now, for Sir Leclerc's main objective for the team, he needs to keep Formula 5 off of him and off of John, because if Formula 5 gets into the 3-second gap into John, against John, he will have the P2 position. But if he doesn't, John will have the P2 and Sir Leclerc will have P4, which is a lot of points gained for McLaren, who's in 3rd position of the constructors. And because Quillis is drive-through, he will not gain a lot of points here. But Formula 5 is not catching up, and also just losing time against Sir Leclerc, which is not usual and not usual to see from Formula 5, but now, so John has the opportunity to get that P2, which I thought he couldn't, but after this chaotic safety car, and because of Quillis' drive-through and 10-second time penalty, it's going to be possible for him. As now D-Max is fighting Formula 5, which is helping the cause of McLaren's, and it could Sir Leclerc get away from Formula 5 that much to keep that P3 and get a 2-3 position for McLaren. D-Mag right now is helping that cause because of his 9-second penalty and because of his driving. He's defending against Formula Scythe, who maybe could have given up a bit. He knows that he cannot get that P2. P2 now, but he still has a chance, and he will get the P4 though, definitely, and he could even get the P3 position. But D-Mag holding Formula Scythe up by a lot. They're now 4.2 seconds off of Sir Leclerc. So Sir Leclerc just needs to push as much as possible and build up that 6-second gap against D-Mag. But now John is gonna fight with Quota, who's not going to be happy about that, because he knows that they don't need to lose any time with these like unrealistic fights, because John has a 6-second time penalty. Quota knows that he doesn't need to fight him, he just win by penalties. Yes. So it's definitely a good thing for Quota, the penalties, and because he rarely gets any penalties from track limits, he will just try to keep it on track and try to keep it on inside 6 seconds, which is definitely possible. No, he's not a slow driver at all, so he is going to stay in 6 seconds and maybe even overtake John on track and not off track only. As now Harry is 4/10 off from D-Mag, but he has another 3-second time penalty, or at least 12 seconds of time penalties, which is not going to be good for him, as Quota overtakes John back. But John goes for the switchback. Another side by side. The outside turns to the inside for John. So Leclerc gets another 3-second time penalty. That's not good news for him at all. But John goes and takes back first place, which he's not going to get at the end because of his time penalties. But it's definitely a great move by him. Also, ignore the safety car at the top left, because it's not safety car. As you can see, there's overtaking happening every single lap between Quota and John. But now Sir Leclerc hasn't got any chance of keeping that P4 or P3. Unfortunately for him, he got another 3-second time penalty from track limit warnings, and Formula Scythe will definitely get P3 now, which he's not going to be happy about, but it is a good result. It is a good result for him. He, just tried to get as much point as possible against Quota, who's going to get P1 though with 25 points. It's tough for Formula Scythe with that penalty on the last 10 laps. But he is going to get P3, a podium. Still 12 points for in the championship, for the championship. But now we can see Quota's not really trying to get that overtake done anymore. He knows he doesn't really need to fight and waste any time and lose any time against Meshu, and just overtaking and wasting his energy, and also tire wear on overtaking John back and forth. goes John and John knows exactly that he's not going to fight neither, not going to try to hold Quota back, because he knows Sir Leclerc and Meshu got a 12-second time penalty, which is not good, not enough to get P2 even. It's definitely not enough for them, as we can see Yestin Boy letting John and Quota by. But now Quota losing a little bit of time, but it's the last 3 laps of the race coming up now. 34th lap of this long race, and what a race it was. 3 more laps. Laps. Quota will not try to go for the overtake again. Now it's really got everyone got in their position, but D-Mag is still trying to overtake Harry, but it's definitely a hard task. Harry is a good defender, but D-Mag needs to keep in mind that Harry has another penalty, and he only has a 9-second penalty, but Harry has a 12-second penalty. So it's definitely a hard ask, but Harry gets impeded by Yestin Boy. He got impeded by Yestin Boy in a very wrong place. Fortunately, no accidents happened, but D-Mag definitely gained some time there. Corner side gets another 3-second time penalty. Meshu has another chance of taking it home, but he's not going to have that much of a chance, because Formula Saif is now only 3.4 seconds from him. If Formula Saif gets another 3 seconds, that would be a great news for Sir Leclerc or Meshu, because that would mean that he will get the P3, but it's very hard to get 2 more warnings or 3 more warnings against in this track in just 2 laps time. So it definitely won't really happen. John just gets another 3-second time penalty, so that he doesn't need to worry about Formula Saif, and puts a 3-second time penalty for himself up. Doesn't really matter, because Formula Saif is about 10.5 seconds off of him, so, and also has a 6-second time penalty. And here comes the last lap of the race. Quota will try to overtake John on the track and not off the track, but John goes to the defensive line. Quota goes for the outside and easily overtakes John onto the outside of the track. Little bit of contact, that doesn't matter anymore. It's the last lap of the race, as D-Mag is still just fighting Harry. Quota has overtook John on track and not off track. He got his encouragement and also his ego up again for overtaking John back for first place. Now coming up to the last sector, finishing seconds, sector 2, coming up to the last sector. Quota is nothing to worry about, as John goes for the late dive bomb, but it's not going to be enough. A little bit of fun here at the last lap, but yeah, John is going to get another 3-second time penalty probably from that, but here is the winner of the Mexican GP. Back-to-back win from Quota. Sir Leclerc goes back down to fourth position, but Quota will win the Mexican GP again. Mexican GP back-to-back victory from Quota, winning, or not back-to-back victory, but winning Australia and now winning the Mexican GP. What a beautiful race from him, not getting any penalties at all and keeping it clean as much as possible, keeping it on the track and not getting into any battles and accidents. Beautiful race from him. Into in the first in the start he went back down to 6th place, but now he comes home to 1st place and victory for the Ferrari. There's beautiful race from him. Also, John has got a beautiful race to gaining 3 positions. Beautiful stuff from these guys. Dima gaining position, Harry gaining position 2, but Quillis losing out on a lot of points. Starting from P3, he lost out on a lot of points. Comes home to 7th as Yestin Boy comes home to 8th position, gets a 4 points, which is good for the Red Bulls. Doesn't really have any points at all, and they're at the bottom of the leaderboard, unfortunately. The great racing today. How an actionful race. Okay, now going into the interviews after the race. Beautiful race. So I think everyone who wants to do an interview is in, or at least I'm not gonna wait for that because the top 2 is here. So now Quota, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful victory from you, and a just clean race at all the time, not gaining any track limit penalty. Beautiful stuff from you. Great race, and good fighting with John. What is your thoughts on the race with that first after the start crash?
Yeah, I don't know what happened in the start. John dive bombed me out of nowhere. Then Crash Dash was in front of me, and he didn't leave me enough room. But yeah, I was on the wrong strategy. I was the only one on hards, and I was really struggling at the end of my of my first stint. But then I boxed. I went on to new mediums. I was gaining some decent time, and yeah, I got a safety car, which then Formula Sci fitted in the safety car. He went on to old tires on accident probably. So yeah, then everyone had penalties. I just kept it clean. Didn't get much warnings, and yeah, I just won. But I don't know what John was doing in the end, in the final sector of the last lap. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a great race from you, winning Australia and now winning this race too with without any penalties. It just seems that the sprint weekends are not for you, but these main weekends are the best for you, because not gaining any penalties and also just keeping it clean all the way. Now going on to the 2nd place, of course. Quota, great result, and good job.
Thank you.
Okay, now going on to the 2nd place finisher, John. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, a beautiful race from you two. I think going from starting from P5, you came home to P2 with a little bit of some of the accidents with Quillis, and also at the end with Kota. I think that was just for fun, but but the ad with Kota, little bit of some accidents, but you also a great race from you two, gaining a lot of penalties, but still getting P2. Beautiful race. What is your thoughts on some of the accidents which you were in, and also the race start?
Well, I think the start was very good. I mean, I got from fifth to second on the start. It was a good start. I think the strategy. I think I had probably the best strategy out of anyone. I think two stop pit early. Everyone else was forced into the two stop. But I think we would have been second regardless of what happened. It's just a different guy in first. But I think I definitely could have deserved to win, but Kota managed to keep it within the second. If I'd got away from that second, I probably would have built up the gap I needed. But yeah, it was a good race. I mean, I just wanted to overtake Kota on the last lap. I just wanted to win the race on the track. I mean, we didn't really keep it particularly clean, but yeah, it was good. And the incident with Quillis, it's quite clear. The first one was my fault, the second one was his fault. So I think I don't know what's going to happen there, but yeah, it was a good race.
Yeah, it was definitely a great race from you. I thought at the end that was just for fun, and it seems like from what I heard from you, it was just for fun, or at least you said you were trying to overtake on track. But yeah, I don't think you will get a penalty, or he will get a penalty
No, I don't
for
think so.
that. Of course, it was the last lap. It was not really a competition at the end. So just a good race at the whole race. Of course, getting a lot of penalties, but doesn't really matter for you. You went onto a two-stop strategy, which worked out for you because of the safety car, but it was a risky strategy, definitely. So great job, and we'll see you next race.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now the last person in the commentary box, and a great result from him too. Of course, DMAC. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So great result for you. It was, I think, P6 at the end. I will just check in a minute. It was P6 or P5 for you. A great fight with Crash Dash, or Harry, sorry. A great fight with Harry. Great result. P5, you got a lot of points for Ferrari in the championship. But so yeah, what is your thoughts on the start? I saw you spun out a little bit in the start.
Yeah, I had a very good start, like off the line. Just initial launch was probably better out of the surrounding drivers, and going into turn one, I don't know what happened. Drivers don't fucking check their mirrors. Sorry, excuse my language. That's a fine. No, people don't check their mirrors, and yeah, that just ruins other drivers' races, you know. And then the rest of the race, it's not about getting myself points. It's about getting the team points, and helping the team in the constructors is probably the best thing I can do at the moment, because I don't have the pace to be winning like races. So yeah.
Yeah, it was a chaotic restart, if I can say so myself. And yeah, as you said, right now your main objective is, I think, to gain some great points for the championship and try to win Ferrari that were the constructors. So great result for you, a great battle with Harry. It was exciting watching that battle. You gave the whole stream a good entertainment. So just good racing, and also very good job for you too.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now. So thank you everyone for watching, the viewers, and we see you guys. We see you guys next Sunday with the United States Grand Prix at 27th of February at usual time 16 or 15 UK time. I'm a great track for race 7 and a exciting constructors championship waiting to happen. And so thank you everyone for